to Python for Data Science tutorial on Tute Fulcrum. This session is on the strings in Python. So we were discussing about the data types in Python, and in the previous sessions we discussed the numerical data types. So let's discuss about the strings in Python. In Python, strings are arrays of bytes. It's a collection of one or more characters put in a single quote, double quote or triple quote. In Python, there is no character data type. A character is a string of length 1 and it's represented by the class str. So let's start by creating a string. So as said, you could create your string by enclosing either with single quote or double quotes or triple quotes. So let's see by creating with a single quote first. So let me use a string name. Let me call it as string1, and now I'll assign this with a string that is enclosed within single quote. So let me put a string Tute Fulcrum. So I have created a string1, and it is containing the string Tute Fulcrum enclosed within single quote. Now let me print this and see how this is getting displayed. So print string1. You could see the variable string1 holds the string Tute Fulcrum. Now if you check the type of string1, it is str. That is, the data type for string is str. Now let's create another string that is enclosed within double quotes. So let's use double quotes here. Let me call it as string2. I'll use the same string and let's check whether there is any difference between the two methods. Let's print our string2. So you could see here it is giving you the same output like we have done with the single quotes. So you could use the single quotes and double quotes interchangeably. There's no difference. You could enclose your string either with single quote or with double quote. Now let's see about the triple quotes. So let me call this as string3, and I'm using triple quotes here, and I'm using the same string Tute Fulcrum. Let's print and see how this is getting displayed. So print string3. So there is no difference with the single, double and triple quotes, but we use triple quotes to print multiple lines or to have strings in multiple lines. That is, say for example, if I'm adding one more line here, Tute Fulcrum, and let me say Python for Data Science tutorial. So here I have my string in multiple lines. So if you run this, you could see here Tute Fulcrum in the first line and Python for Data Science tutorial in the second line. So if you want the strings in multiple lines, we use triple quotes. If you try to do the same with single quotes or double quotes, you will end up with error. Let's try it out here. So I'm going to add a new line. If you run this, you could see the error here, syntax error, end of line while scanning string literal. So if you want your string to be in multiple lines, you will have to use triple quotes. You will get the same error for the single quote also. You can try it out. Now let's see how we access the elements of a string. So in Python, the individual characters of a string can be accessed by using the method of indexing. Indexing follows negative address references to access the characters from back of the string. That is, say for example, if we have this string tooth fulcrum, this is the positive indexing which starts from 0 if you need to access the string from the start, and same way you have negative indexing that is starting from -1 if you want to access the string in reverse. Let's see this with the Python notebook. So let's use our string 1. So we know it holds the content tooth fulcrum. So suppose if you want to access the first character of your string, say S, how are we going to do this? So it's like specify the variable name, so that is string 1. Use the square brackets because I told you string is nothing but an array of characters. And now within the square brackets you have to specify the index. So if you intend to access the first character of your string, say for example here it is the character T. So you specify the index number as 0. Let me put this within the print statement so that it gets displayed. So you could see the output here. It is giving me the first character of my string, that is T. Same way if you want to access the last character of your string, right? You could use the negative indexing. So how do you do the same? Same thing. Instead of specifying the index value as 0, you have to specify it as -1. So let's use the same thing here. Let's put this within the print statement. So string 1 square bracket, I'll specify the index value as -1. So it will start accessing your string from the end. So it is giving me the character M here, which is the last character of my string tooth fulcrum. Now let's talk about string slicing. If you want to access a range of characters in the string, the method of slicing is used. Slicing in a string is done by using a slicing operator, or you call it as the colon operator. That is, say for example, we will use string 1. Suppose if you want to access from the first character to say the character E, you could access the same by specifying the range of index values. That is string 1, use the square brackets. Now here you can specify the range of index values. That is, you need to start from the beginning. So the index value is 0. From 0, use the colon operator till you want to access up to the character E. So what is the index value for E? Starting from T, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So you will specify one index value higher to it. So see, we are able to access the characters T, U, T, E. So the first index value, whatever we specify here, will be included, and the second index value is exclusive. That is, that will not be included. So this is going to access the characters with the index value 0, 1, 2 and 3. 4 will not be included. Suppose if I give a statement like this, string 1 of, it is accessing 3 colon minus 2. What will be the output for this? This will access the third character to the second last character of my string. Let's check our output. So here the index value 3 is inclusive and the index value -2 is exclusive. That is, the character E is included because the index value 3 is included. From 3, it will start accessing just above the index value -2. So up to the character R. So that was about string slicing. Now let's see how we could delete or update a string in Python. So in Python, the updation or deletion of characters from a string is not allowed. That is, if you try to modify a character of your string, so if you say string 1 and if you're trying to replace the first character with some other value, let's say, let me call it as say S. What are we doing here? This statement string 1 of 0 means it's trying to access the first character of your string. Now when you assign it with a new character, you're trying to modify the existing value. This is not permitted in Python. If you run this, you will end up with the error. So it's a type error. It says str object does not support item assignment. That is, you cannot modify your string. So it's very clear that updation is not possible for a character of your string. Same way, deletion is also not possible. So we have the keyword del to delete a character or delete an entity. So if you try to delete the same, say if you try to delete del of string 1 of 0, this is also not possible. But you have the permission to delete your entire string. That is, you could do this operation. You could say del of string 1. This is possible. Same way, you could modify the string 1 with a new string. That is, say for example, I have deleted the string 1, so it's not going to exist anymore. Let's work with string 2. Right? We have string 2. It's holding the content tut fulcrum. You could modify this entire string with a new entity. You could do string 2 equal to, let's say, Python. This is permitted. Strings are immutable in Python. Hence, elements of a string cannot be changed once it has been assigned. Only new strings can be reassigned to the same name. Now let's see about formatting of strings in Python. Strings in Python can be formatted with the use of format method, which is very versatile and powerful tool for formatting of strings. The format method in string contains curly brackets as placeholders, which can hold arguments according to the position or keyword to specify the order. That is, let's take an example. Let's see about the default order. If I say string 1 equal to, I'll use 3 placeholders here. So after specifying the placeholders within the inverted quotes, I need to use a dot operator and then I'll use the format method. Now here I'll specify my strings. So if I say Python, then the next string is 4, and say data science. Right? Now if you print your string 1, you could see your output Python 4 data science. So it is using the default order. So the first string Python, the place value or the placeholder is taking the first argument as Python. Then the second placeholder is taking the argument as 4 and the third one is going with data science. So this is the default order. So the first placeholder is holding your first string, that is Python. The second placeholder is holding the second string 4 and the third placeholder is holding the third string data science. Now you could specify the position here. That is, if you say this as 1 and if you say this as 2 and this as 0, what will happen here? Let's first run and see what our output is. So can you see this output? It is giving you 4 data science Python. That is, the placeholder, the first placeholder is holding the value 1. That is, it is holding the string 4. So here the order is going like Python is the 0th string, this is 1 and this is 2. So within the placeholder, if I specify a position value of 1, it is referring to the second string, that is 4. Now within the second placeholder, I have specified the position as 2. So it is referring to data signs, and then 0, that is referring to my first string, that is Python. Hence you got the output as 4 data signs Python. You could also use keyword formatting, that is, instead of specifying the position numbers here, if I use some keywords like if I specify say A, B, C, right, and if I rearrange this as A equal to and B equal to and C equal to. Now if you run this, you could see the change in your output. It is giving you Python 4 data signs. Here the key value A is corresponding to the string Python. So first it displayed Python. Then B corresponds to the string 4 and C is corresponding to the string data signs. Hence you got the output as Python 4 data signs. So these are the few basic concepts of strings in Python. We'll see more about strings in the coming sessions. So here we have discussed how to create a string, how to access a string, and how to format a string. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe. And please don't forget to tap the bell icon. You'll get notified whenever we upload a new videos. Thank you.